Go ahead.
Oh, I did it.
Oh, you didn't say it.
No, you're supposed to say it.
I'm not going to say it.
Ouch. I shot mom. I'm an a-hole.
He's lost his mind. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel.
If you're new.
On another Friday evening, and you can tell it's a big party time in our house because I got home at 7 o'clock, and I feel like I was out half the night. I really do.
I had that perfectly scripted too. We had to go off the script. That's what threw me off.
Oh, excuse me. We've been at the Walmart again. We were there forever last night.
Not quite so much here tonight.
Yeah, but Chris needed new pants.
Shoes.
Well, not the shoes last night. Chris needed new pants. I had an extensive list of stuff I had to pick up. I mean, I'm not joking. It was a long list. And everything kind of ran out at the same time. And
Yep.
the only thing I didn't buy that maybe I probably could have was light bulbs, because I don't know how we're fixed for light bulbs. Okay, good.
The droid says the dogs are barking.
The dogs are barking. The little barking dog next door, that's Jasmine. Jasmine is lippy, isn't she, Wolf? And Wolf answers her.
He says, I'm the big dog next door.
He's the big dog. He got a new blanket. See, I told you about a lot last night. Got a new blanket. It's lavender, and it's got little white doggies all over it. And that's his new soft blankie that he really didn't need. But still, he likes it. He needed it. He did. Mommy said so. So anyway, we got Chris 2 new pairs of pants last night.
And they were too big.
Thought we got the right sizes. Sure that we had the right sizes. We weren't even close. Well, I mean, we weren't even close. So we had to exchange those tonight. And speaking of not being close, I go over to get gas, and I'm sure that it's going to be $45, $50, somewhere in there. I'm certain of it, because I know what it costs to fill up my tank. And I was low, you know. I wasn't at half tank. I was low. And so I knew it was going to cost a fortune to fill it up. It only cost $25. I was so pleasantly shocked. And some guy was going around trying to bum money so they could buy gas to get to Circleville or Chillicothe or someplace. And I told Ben, I said, just tell him no, we don't have any cash. Which I was a big fat lie, because I did have cash, but I didn't have any cash for him. You know, who knows what he was wanting to do or where he was wanting to go. Probably just wanted to go out and run around and party. Mm-hmm. And was trying to scam people into paying for it.
$2 to help pay for it.
Yeah. I know that's not very Christian to think the worst of people, but
most people aren't very Christian.
Mm-hmm. I saw the funniest thing. I'm going to quote it on here. All props to this go to the creator on TikTok who came up with this. He's just doing himself, regular gay man, talking to the camera. And he says, I understand that it can be very confusing for some of you when people identify as one thing, but they look like something else. So like he identifies as a girl, but he's really a man. But no, it's not like that at all. And a good example to help you understand would be, I know that you identify as a Christian, but you hate everybody, want everybody deported, do not help out your fellow man, and are judgmental. And those aren't Christian, so you're identifying as something that you're not. And it's the same thing. And he said it. I couldn't say it nearly as patronizingly as he did.
Possible.
I said it hurt my feelings, and I'm not even guilty of it. It was that had to hurt.
Yeah.
I was like, go, mister. Just a young man, too. I was very impressed that he came up with that, you know?
There were some other things we were impressed with, but we're not going to quote them because they were too comedic. And
We were dying laughing. They have on TikTok, they have a video. First, it's a picture of the White House, and then it's a picture of Trump and Elon Musk, back and forth between Trump and Musk. And the whole time it's playing,
an edit.
they're playing an edit of, it's Pinky and the Brain, it's Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
One is a genius, the other one's insane.
Yeah, that was funny.
And when they did the insane, of course, that was the Trump picture. And he was going, he was so mad. He's making that prune face he makes, you know.
Yeah.
That big baby. It was so funny.
When they had him saying "narf," they showed a
hysterical.
picture where he made a goofy face that didn't look human.
What was it? What was the third one? Oh, Trump talking about, what was he talking about?
Oh, it was a guy impersonating Trump, right?
Yeah. It was a guy impersonating Trump.
He was talking about chickens that were Chinese.
Yeah, he was talking about chickens and how he was going to solve the price of chicken eggs. And he said, first off, we're going to have Republic hens. And they're going to lay eggs without shells, just like the eggs that you get in an Egg McMuffin, because everybody loves an Egg McMuffin. But sometimes they like McGriddles, and those are the same eggs, so that's okay too. And he just wanders everywhere, all over the damn place, and it goes on, and it sounded so much like him.
Yes,
that he ought to be on Saturday Night Live.
Mhm.
It sounded exactly like him. It was so fun. I was dying. I saved it and made the kids come watch it.
About how we love Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah.
That's the group who sang that song. Not many
Chicken
people
to
know
China, the Chinese chicken.
He was so awesome.
He said he thought these chickens we have now are Chinese chickens. And that's why they're working against the U.S.
And this
It
is the
was
guy
so
impersonating
funny.
one of these tirades. It was so hilarious.
Oh, Lord. And, you know, there was a bad plane crash. And I feel very bad for all the people involved in it. And a lot of people are saying that it was a hit put out by the government because it was a Black Hawk helicopter that crashed into a commercial air flight. And they went down in the Potomac there in Washington, D.C. And it's not funny. I'm not saying it's funny. But Trump's reason for thinking that the plane went down was because of DEI. What does that stand for again? Disability, equity, diversity, equity, inclusion, or something. And he was pretty sure that they were hiring retarded people. Now, these are to be air traffic controllers, one of the hardest jobs it is to get. And they make way more than pilots do. It's very mentally and emotionally taxing.
Stressful.
And he said they were hiring blind people. And the worst part, they were hiring people with dwarfism. Why? Why would that even be bad? What?
I'll tell you what it really was when you're off camera, though.
But a lot of people are saying that was a hit.
That's not what it was either.
I don't know.
Not the target of what they were hitting, but I'll tell you more when you're off the camera because I don't want to get too risky with it.
So I'm back into Trumping a little bit, but mostly the amusing stuff. I accidentally came across that about somebody thought that was very funny that he said people with dwarfism couldn't be air traffic controllers. Does he think they're too short to reach the screen? What does he think? What? Lord help me. And you know what? If you voted for him, this is your fault. This is your fault. You voted for that. That's what you chose. And you ought to be ashamed.
You reap what you sow.
And yes, you can unfollow me. I don't care. I really don't. I don't want any Trump people following me, so please feel free. Ugh.
Yeah.
Still, the Republicans part was so funny. Me and the kids were dying laughing in the car.
I was laughing especially at the Pinky and the Brain one.
Pinky and the Brain was hysterical. It suited them so well.
Yep.
I always did like Pinky and the Brain.
Which was it from Animaniacs originally, but then they got their own show. The same intro they did for the segments, which was funny as heck.
Chris was disappointed that they cut out the mousy parts of the song, but it was still pretty good. It was still pretty good.
I was so disappointed. I played the full version just to spite the creator for cutting it out. I'm not saying the creator was bad. I'm just saying we could have left the mousy parts in. I was protesting that.
We went over and hit up the clearance racks while we were at the Walmart, and they had the big family-size boxes of Velveeta shells and cheese. And you know, Mom, how much Chris loves shells and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought 2 of them, but they were only marked down to $5 a box. So I said, do you realize I spent $10 on macaroni and cheese tonight? But you know, it's usually 8 something a box for that size. So what are you going to do? I like them too. They're very good. We're having fried chicken tonight. I don't care if it's midnight. I do not care. I want my fried chicken.
Yep.
Last night I had bread.
I had
Literally had bread for dinner. It was good bread. It had butter. It was fine. But I want my fried chicken. Yum. And I want mashed potatoes and gravy.
No.
Nobody asked you. If I'm out of chicken gravy, I'm going to...
Be ticked.
No, I'll just use a packet of the turkey gravy. And try to not be irritated. But I make no promises.
Don't you have some jars of turkey gravy?
Yeah, that's why I said if I'm out of chicken, that's what I'll use.
Okay.
Or we could use Chinese seasoning to make them chicken to China, the Chinese chicken, if we don't have chicken gravy.
No. I'll tell you though, Chris was eating the sriracha Doritos in the car, and it smelled so much like Chinese food. It had me really wanting some Chinese food. Some fried dumplings. Oh, I love fried dumplings. And then one of my friends posted a picture where she went out with her dad for lunch, and her boyfriend of 10 years was with her, and her mother, and they've been divorced for 30 years, and her mother was there too, and they were just all together having lunch at a Mexican restaurant, and that food looked so delicious. I thought about going out for Mexican food. I love Mexican food. John, where are you taking me, and when are we going? I don't know what I want though. Yes, that's what I want. Yes, I want all of it. Part of me would like to go over to the steakhouse in Marysville and get those ribs. Those are the best ribs. Mom, they are just, you can pull the bones out.
Yeah.
They're perfect. And the fat's all cooked away, and they're not tough or hard or anything. I don't know how the hell they do it. I wish I could do it, you know.
Maybe pressure.
You know, you could be right. Maybe they do pressure cook them. They're just so tender. Wolfie says, quit talking about food. You starve your little boy to death. Yeah. Say, don't starve me to death. Go make some chicken. Yeah. He got a bag of his pedigree today. He was very happy to have it. He'd been missing it, hadn't he, Mom? Not that he spoiled or anything. We looked all over the Walmart today, and they did not have any Valentine's dog toys. They did last year. I think I waited too late to look for them, and they probably sold out.
He
That's
doesn't
what I've been
need them.
looking all this time. They haven't put them out at all.
But he was
He's got a whole basket full of toys.
Yes, but he doesn't have any 2025 Valentines.
Well, write it on a piece of paper and tuck it into Clifford's tummy.
Clifford has a hole in his belly where the seamlet goes, about this big. Now, the fluff doesn't come out. Clifford isn't hard packed. He's very soft and smushy. And so every time I look at Clifford, he's got a big old hunk of guts hanging out of the hole in his belly. And I put it back in for Wolf the other day. And he comes over and he sticks that nose down in there and starts snorting around in Clifford's. And I took my foot and popped him on the side and said, "Get out of Clifford's belly. Don't you do that." And he was mad at me.
Proud.
He was ticked for hours. He laid down in front of me so I'd be sure to see him.
Make sure and
Oh, that's
With his
crazy.
back to me, looking back over his shoulder and giving me sad puppy face.
Yeah,
Hey, Mom.
Mommy deserved it, Grandma.
I know.
What, Chris?
I'm
Very
reading
much
something
love.
interesting in the
Rotten
science
dog.
section of what it led me to. Guess what?
What?
They finally, through DNA testing from an article
Wonderful.
clothing, they took the handle, not the handle, they took where they manhandled the thing after stabbing and got fingerprint data off the shawl, right? But they couldn't find the knife. It's already been lost in Scotland Yard for who knows how long. But the shawl wasn't. But guess who Jack the Ripper is?
Don't know.
A Polish immigrant to the UK named Aaron somebody.
How sure are they of this?
The shawl was on one of Jack the Ripper's victims. The only one they could get a hold of from Scotland Yard.
Hmm.
And it also had the victim's blood all over it too. But the blood was long since gone. But they found that Aaron Kosminski, they found that even though they could take fingerprints back then, they found that the fingerprints matched his fingerprint that was taken.
Was he a butcher or something?
He was a barber.
Well, you
He
know,
cut hair.
people don't understand, but back then barbers did a lot of medical work. They did bloodletting, they did dentistry, they set broken bones, they stitched you up. They were almost doctors. It was a very important position to have. So yeah, that would explain how come he knew the female body so well.
So
Was
a
able
Polish-
to bisect him so carefully. What?
The Polish barber they suspected never touched in their investigation turned out to be the guy who did it. And the DNA and the fingerprints was linked to some medical stuff they did where they had DNA samples they could test hundreds of years later. And,
Oh yeah.
it was 100% match this Polish immigrant barber.
Now they just need to prove the Lindbergh baby. That was so sad.
Yeah.
That was the saddest crime.
Yeah.
Wolfie was a good boy though. He's a detective hound.
He is.
He detects when anybody has a snack.
Yeah.
He's looking at me. You want me off this phone, don't you? He hates the camera.
He
Hates
does.
it.
He does.
And he wants me to put it down. He's mad at me. He's mad as hell.
That
Which I
kind of
think I
sucks
will.
for Star Trek fans, though.
Why?
Because in Star Trek, Jack the Ripper was an energy alien that framed Scotty.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Thank you for joining us. I hope you will come back and see us on Monday. We have a whole weekend's full of shenanigans to get up to.
Yep.
And could be fun. Never
Could be.
know. So come see us and we'll talk to you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.